I'm asking, should Great Britain get behind Boris Johnson? Yesterday afternoon in the Commons, the Prime Minister made an impassioned speech. He set out the latest UK sanctions to be placed on Russia as the West look to convince President Vladimir Putin to withdraw troops from Ukraine. So despite the last few moments, partygate, allegations and sleaze, I'm asking, is it time for Great Britain to get behind our Prime Minister? Let's see what my panel make of this. I'm joined by former Conservative advisor Claire Pearsall and leader of the Reclaim Party, Laurence Fox. Right, so I'm going to come straight to you, Claire, because there you are, Conservative advisor. Is it time now? Do we need to get behind him?
I think we are. I think looking at what happened in the House of Commons, that the majority of the party definitely are behind the Prime Minister. I don't see how you can be against him. That's not to say that Partygate and everything else that's gone on isn't important and isn't in their minds, but it isn't bigger than the situation going on at the moment. And
But is it important, Partygate?
It is. Absolutely is. You've got a Prime Minister who's been dealt with under a police caution, a sitting Prime Minister.
Yeah, but
this is not just a questionnaire. This was an under.
Well, it was a questionnaire. Rishi Sunak had to fill one in as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, even he went.
Also
if we do this
caution.
under this line, literally everyone will be gone. Laurence, what do you think?
No, I don't back Boris at all. I back Britain and the people of Britain. And we must not forget that Boris Johnson and his regime have overseen the biggest capture of civil liberties in a lifetime. And actually, as I was saying earlier, you know, if there is an iron curtain falling back over Europe, we're on the wrong side of it nowadays. We have a dictatorship in Canada. We have absolute uncontrolled authoritarian measures have taken place in England. And I don't back Boris. I'm interested. The only people I'm interested is in Britons and representing them. Otherwise, I'll be woking off with some lovely actress somewhere.
But I mean, Laurence, if you look at this, though, we kind of really do need to support him, though, as a leader. I get what you mean by saying
we need to support. We
really do.
We support we support our country.
Yeah.
Now, Boris Johnson is not. Boris Johnson changed his mind about 300 times in the last 2 years about anything. The man is a spineless. He doesn't know where he's going. So you back Britain. Britain will tell you what to do. And the people of Britain, the often misrepresented people of Britain who are silenced and smeared and called racist and bigots, those are the people will feed up the chain through the Conservative Party what needs to happen. But the sooner we see the back of Boris Johnson, for me, the better.
Even with the war going on, I mean, Claire, you're saying that you probably may not survive. His leadership wouldn't survive. But is there not just so much going on at the moment that can we really be focusing on that right now, or what's your view?
But this won't go on forever. We have to put the sanctions in place, and he started, you know, slowly at the beginning of the week. He ramped it up, and it's better. It's by no means perfect, and I do think that we need to take Russia out of the SWIFT system. Absolutely, we needed to have done that on Monday to show that we were serious. But sadly, it seems that Germany are more concerned about their gas supply, and the Italians are more concerned with their luxury goods and flogging handbags to oligarchs. So we are up against that, you know, which is again one of the reasons why quite a lot of us voted to leave the European Union. But I do think that the Prime Minister himself is damaged, but the party is bigger than that, just that one person. You have to look at the contributions made by the Defence Secretary, Ben Wallace, who has been superb. You have other MPs, James Heappey, the Armed Forces Minister in the Chamber, also impressive. So this isn't just about him and should he hang on because we need him to guide us through this. There are other people who are experts in this area and they're doing their bit.
But were you not impressed with his speech that he made?
Boris, he's great at making speeches. He's like a good actor. Well done. Clap, clap, clap. Do we want you to be in charge of the country? No, thank you.
So how soon, then? How long has he got, do you think, in your eyes?
I hope that he's trounced in the May elections, and I hope he's gone shortly after. But then the worst thing is, who's going to replace him?
Well, that's the point, isn't it?
Like
that's
Rishi?
The whole point. But Rishi may have gone to the party as well. Apparently they're investigating him with the questionnaire. Yeah. So he won't be... He's not right, is he? He can't go either.
I just want Kemi Badenoch in charge of everything. I literally do.
I
love her.
Good.
The problem we have in this country is cultural and class-based. That's what we have, you know, putting Ukraine aside. There's a class war going on in this country between the Zoom Prosecco class, who look down on the little plebs and tell them what to do, and invent these mad concepts of critical race theory and gender ideology and pronouns and all this stuff that nobody cares about. And the one person who gets it and has got the courage to stand up in Parliament and go on about it is Kemi. And where's Kemi? She stands up, she says something wonderful, and she vanishes for a while.
Yeah, and you've got to be brave enough to put your name forward. And this is always a battle, and this is what I've said before. Who you would like, who you would like, who I would like, it's irrelevant unless they put their names forward to go out to the membership and before that to their colleagues in the House of Commons. And we've all seen this process before. It's miserable, it is nasty and divisive and goes on for 6 to 8 weeks. And I think this will happen over the summer.
Maybe you have got a point, and it's time we actually put a woman forward, and really
I think that's a
because
really
we said
good
that
idea.
this wouldn't really happen if women were in charge. This whole war thing, it wouldn't happen at all.
Does that make me a male feminist?
I don't know.
Does that make me woke?
There'll be woke! There'll be something they'll call you. I don't know what it is.
Usually Nazi or racist is what I get.
But the worry is, OK, so you think they'll get a trouncing at the May elections if they don't get rid of Boris Johnson?
No, I think they'll get a trouncing at the May elections because they're going to get a trouncing at the May elections. I mean, no one wants Keith in charge of anything because, it's this odd thing of the uni party. They're both the same thing. You've got the Socialist Party and then you've got the even more Socialist Party. So, it would be great if there were small parties were able to sort of punch through, but it's difficult. You can't have the Lib Dems because they don't believe...
where are they?
But you are looking at local elections and they are very, very different. And people's voting habits are very different at local elections as they are to general elections. And this is where you do see the smaller parties and independents come forward because they're fed up with whatever the Conservatives have to say, whatever the Labour Party has to say. In certain areas like mine, Labour aren't even an option, so you're looking at perhaps the Greens or the Lib Dems. So that's what you're up against. It's very different.
You guys are the Greens.
They're the net zero.
You're going for net zero.
You're the net zero.
Yeah, but also, I've got an idea. I had an idea. Quick, here's my idea. If everyone wants to know what net zero's to look like, let's have, instead of clapping for carers on a Thursday evening at 8 o'clock, everyone boil the kettle. And then you'll know what net zero is going to be like.
Or just simply take a look at your bank account after this lot have got things done.
Man.
It's not all of us. Just point that out.
Well, today I'm asking, is it time for Great Britain to back Boris Johnson? I'd love to hear what you think, and lots of you have been saying a lot of things. The Sue Gray report, Neil says the Sue Gray report was only the initial findings. Just because we're in a crisis doesn't mean that we shouldn't hold our leaders to account if they break the rules that they make. Eileen says, of course we should. Times like this mean sticking together, at least they used to. Brad says, no, a crisis like this shows why we need a serious leader in charge. Chelsea says, absolutely. I mean, why wouldn't you? He's our democratically elected Prime Minister. Tommy says, Keir Starmer's calling on tougher sanctions, so surely he would be a better man to lead us through this crisis. Yeah, Keir Starmer also called for, well, we'd still be in lockdown, wouldn't we? There's also a poll-up on Twitter today throughout the show asking, should Great Britain get behind Boris Johnson? And currently, 78% of you say yes, we should back Boris Johnson. We'll keep our eye on that poll, and the voting is still open, so keep your votes coming. You're with me, I'm Nana Akwir. This is GB News.